Hey guys, welcome to Drift Podcast. I'm Travis.
And I'm Ben.
And today...
Hopefully we don't have audio issues.
Hopefully we don't have any issues. Thank you, Kevin Ellis, for writing on there that, yes, it wouldn't be the Drift Podcast without technical issues. But hopefully we've fixed that. The only thing that I can see that's a little bit up is our green screen.
My headphones are a little bit invisible. That's cool.
Yeah, but other than that...
we're back.
We're back.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Don't know if sound's working. Please let us know if it is or isn't. But we're back. Yeah. We're going to attempt to do
an episode, and hopefully it doesn't cut out halfway like last time.
Yep. And hopefully there's no technical issues. So we apologize that we did
have a bit of a break.
But life's been pretty stressful on top of just the podcast just straight up not working last time we tried to record. Yep, someone says, yep, it's working, so we're sweet.
Mint.
Thanks, guys. We're glad to be back. We hope that these fixes will allow us to record a lot easier and, just make overall life a lot easier for us to focus on actually doing podcasts rather than
fixing all the issues before we do a podcast.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
well, we're back, and let's start off with a bit of news.
Yep. So, first of all, D1 GP. It's really hard to find out who won.
Because we don't read kanji.
Because, we can't read Japanese characters, but I saw a photo, and a dude in a yellow 180SX was the guy who won D1 Lights. So congratulations to that guy. And can't find out who won D1.
we were both working on that day.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But Andrew Gray did win Formula Drift Japan. So
congratulations to him.
The latest round. So congratulations, Andrew Gray. That's really good on him. And he's probably on track to winning the series again. Who knows?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Other news.
Taylor and Bend had their first drift event down in South Australia, so that was really cool. Saw a bunch of footage of that on Instagram.
Yep.
So check out Zach Blogner. He posted a bunch of videos on his actual Instagram account of the track layout. Looked really, really cool. I'm super keen to eventually get down there and drive. I've got family down there, so hopefully I can get my car down there as well. Drift Matsuri drivers lineup was announced. Abba
for
Moon,
the special guests.
For the guests. Abba Moon is coming. I don't know if he's bringing his R32 or if we're supplying a car.
I hope he's bringing his 32.
That'd be cool if he brings his R32.
That was the other news about Andrew Gray in particular. He's driving World Time Attack Challenge, the event.
Yes,
it just got announced the other day. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And the other driver is a Formula Drift America driver, Matt Van Kirk.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
A couple of international drivers. I think this is the first time we've had two drivers from two different countries.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And they also want to run drift games on short track, which would be an interesting thing. 90% of the people seem to reckon it's a good idea. So there'll be possibility of run the wall, tandem donuts, twin entry competition, car park challenge, or a gymkhana challenge. So we'll see what happens. I'm keen to see how that all pans out. It'll be interesting.
It might be a bit of a nice shake-up for it, because I do find that short track does tend to go dead at times.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're so out in the open, it gets so hot out there.
So...
Your car gets so hot as well, because you got nowhere to drive around and keep it cool.
Yeah, and doing something different, can't hurt to try.
I'm keen for, car park challenge. I've never tried it before, but I've seen it in all the old Japanese... Drift Tengoku videos. They have the halfway point where they do a car park challenge and you have to do a J turn into them, stuff like that. It's cool. I'm keen. I'm
probably pretty good at parking my car into a wall on short track.
Yeah,
done that a couple of times.
You're just good at parking your car in general and not driving it.
Jeez, hit me where it hurts, man.
Yeah,
all right. Moving on from that subject. But also in relation to that subject, hopefully you guys caught our latest episode where we were talking about building my 7AG motor in my A86. It's a new mini-series that we're kind of starting. We actually filmed that probably about 3 or 4 months ago, I would say.
Yeah.
And we're just going through footage one day and we were just like, hey, we could just start editing this stuff that we filmed a while ago. So the car and the motor are quite a bit way on from where we left off then. But we will be doing some more filming for that and getting some more videos out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And we'll also be doing more Friday drift tips and stuff like that. There possibly won't be anything out this week.
There's a lot of Matsuri prep happening, so it's very difficult to try and film extra car stuff when you only have really one day off to do things.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process of getting my car ready, and so are a few friends. So we might try and film some stuff at my friend's house
on this weekend. Then next weekend we will have the next drift tips video.
Yep. So
that probably won't be out on Friday. So
I think we need to change this to Monday drift tips.
I think it just needs to be called just drift tips.
Why not?
Anyway, moving on. We might as well get into the main subject of today, which is about the Drift King.
The Drift King.
Yeah, Keiichi Tsuchiya. Keiichi Tsuchiya.
Yeah.
So, and we're still probably pronouncing that totally incorrectly. So,
hey, you're the one that had dinner with him. You should know.
Yeah, I did actually. But no, I don't. Because I don't speak Japanese, Ben.
Hey, but you could just listen in and just hear what they say.
Nope. And they're also going to say Tsuchiya Keiichi.
Well, yes.
So,
you still could listen in to the correct way they say it.
Anyway, moving on.
But
yeah, today's episode is about this. It's not going to be the typical type of video that you probably see on the internet where it's going to be like some guy yelling at the camera. I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about. And yeah, and we're not just pulling our facts straight off Wikipedia.
Yeah, we tried to hunt around a little bit to find some more obscure information that isn't exactly straight up common knowledge, and tried to actually look a bit into his early history, because when he started, he was actually a racer, so...
Yeah, and he still is.
Yeah.
He's a drift judge, and he did, do some, I guess, power sliding, when he was racing, which is what made him famous and get his name, but...
Yeah, to this day, even, when you watch the Drift Bible, and I think even we said it when we did that review of it, it's coming from a very grip racer's perspective of drifting. It's a different style. It's like high-speed sliding, whereas drifting's more evolved into, big angle and... more flashy style, I guess,
But in the background is the Drift Kingdom event, and that is owned and run by Tsuchiya himself. So this showcases the style of driving that he likes and he is wanting to watch. So
yeah, have actually explained that, because there was a bit of a story behind the team that you were with about their qualifying. So have a bit of a chat about that, because it is actually an interesting thing.
Yeah, so with the team that I was invited to go and hang out with Jay, who we've had on the podcast a long, long time ago, and basically he drives a Laurel. He also drives in D1 GP and not Formula Drift, just D1 GP, and he has I would say 700 horsepower home built 2JZ Laurel. Now this is pretty crazy stuff for Japanese. They don't generally home build. Everything's built by a shop and sponsored and stuff like that. But he was there and drifting. There will be footage of him in the background of us. But basically, as you come down this straight, then into that first corner, Tsuchiya is literally there with a radar speed gun, measuring your speed down that straight, probably very inaccurately. And
he's not a trained motorcycle cop, mate.
Yeah, and
shout out to GPS.
So I was out there filming at the time, literally while this was on, and I'm like, wow, he just drove really well. It looked like he was driving a lot better than any of the other cars that were there. And then I finished filming and I go over and talk to Jay, and they found out that he got disqualified. And I'm like, how could he get disqualified? He didn't come off track or anything like that. And he's like, he was 2 kilometers too slow on entry. So this is how important speed is for Tsuchiya and his events, and probably a major reason as to why he also left D1, because he just wasn't clicking with
the newer style of driving. Yeah,
and he just wanted to go off and make his own that was still that, I guess, that older style of drifting, essentially, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you have listened to our podcast from, like, the start, we did a drift history for, like, the early 90s, and when they took up, like, the Ikaten series, you can find a few videos on YouTube. It is all stuff out of the Drift Bible, you know, they're coming in, like, super quick, just jumping on the brakes, and, like, brakes traction, and that's the drift competition. It's on one corner, and... yeah, it really goes back to that, you know, he wants to see people going in way too fast, and then, you know, oversteering through it and out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, big mangy entries or faint entries, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. Now, you might be able to correct me, but I'm pretty sure that back when Tsuchiya was in D1, he was the only judge who was a person judge, and he just added in speed. That was literally all that his input was, because everything was judged off of their drift box setup computer.
There was the drift box, but it happened a little bit later on. It wasn't original. Like,
yeah, obviously not. Yeah, but like maybe like just before he left. I'm fairly sure.
I'm pretty sure it was like 2005, 2008.
We'll see. I think
because it was in the mobile app as well. They had a little game, and they actually talked about like the drift box.
Well, even in my D1 GP game, he adds the bonus points for speed.
Yeah.
In that game. So it literally comes up with his face and adding the bonus points. So, but anyway, he's always been about
that one's a bit unclear. But yeah, the big thing for Sheer is speed. And like you'll notice that all the way through.
Even with his option videos where he talks about like late braking and learning how to be a better drifter by focusing on grip racing and just how late you can brake. And this is the Laurel that I was talking about as well in the background at the moment. So, yeah. So, that's what Tsuchiya is basically currently doing. He does go all over the world, including Australia for...
World Time Attack.
World Time Attack, where he judged the drifting event.
Yep.
And he also competed.
Oh, did he compete?
Not in drifting.
Okay, no, in the circuit racing.
In the circuit racing.
I didn't think I saw him in the drift thing.
Yeah, so... yeah. Let's go on with a few facts. But while we were talking about games a little bit ago, Tsuchiya was famous enough that I've spoken about this on our video game podcast, or our drifting video game podcast, that in 1994 the first game was released that Tsuchiya was actually a part of, which was Shutoko Battle number 1, and it actually has a picture of Tsuchiya on the actual front cover of the game. And then there was a second game released. These were both released for the Super Famicom, which is the Super Nintendo in Japan. Then on the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn, sequels were released, again featuring Tsuchiya. And we actually got them in the West, and they were called Tokyo Extreme Racer, or Tokyo. It was a Tokyo
Extreme Racer, and
it was Tokyo Battle Racer or something like that.
Yeah, Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Yeah,
and there was the other one, but he wasn't featured in that.
Yeah. So he even had his own video games, and even back as far as 1994, and on the PlayStation they came out in 1997,
as well as featuring in the D1 games as a judge.
Yeah, exactly. So a little bit of history about, or a bit of an about Keiichi Tsuchiya. You can.
So yeah, like, I mean, like, a lot of us grew up watching drifting and seeing Tsuchiya is a lot younger, and it actually hit me today, or the other day when I was going and making this episode. The dude is 63 years old.
Yeah.
He was born in 1956 in January. Like, right. And now you look at Tsuchiya and like from, the option videos we all know and love, he's really young and full of energy, and then you watch him now and he's still got that energy, but you really see how old he is.
Yeah.
So, like we said in the like the Japanese tuning shop episode. If you want to see him, go see him.
Yeah.
Don't make excuses. Just go do it.
And he is coming to World Time Attack Challenge, so if you are in Australia, you can go see him this year as well.
Go get something signed. Like, piece of history, man. Like,
here's a bit of an obscure fun fact. His blood type is B.
yeah, strangely enough. So if you want to donate him blood when he's needs it.
If you're B type, you have Drift King blood,
there you
basically.
go.
If you're type B.
Oh yes, and he also did make a cameo in Initial D. Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. I did forget about that actually.
Yeah. And it was really hard to read the exact translations on what he did with Initial D because the translations didn't work that well. But he also has a radio show, by the sounds of it.
Oh, yes.
And that Initial D somehow started connected with that as well. But it's really hard to get information because
Japanese
everything's
doesn't
in
translate
Japanese.
well.
And, yeah, we'll give it another 10 years and Google Translate will be a bit more perfect. So
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, start off with some racing history. Or even just, where was he born and stuff like that, actually.
Yeah, he was born in Nagano Prefecture.
Nagano Prefecture.
Yeah, so now Tomoe City. When he was his first car... Oh,
Tomi.
Oh, all right. Correct me everywhere. So yeah, he started off and he bought a Hakuska.
Yeah, 2000 GT.
2000 GT.
Yep.
Which he binned trying to go too fast. I read a little interview. He was talking about how he crashed it, and I forgot to screenshot it. But he basically said he was racing like very fast, and it was in the rain, and he was trying to brake as late as possible, and he slid off into a guardrail and ruined the car. And there was a photo of it somewhere, but I can't find it.
Probably in his biography book, which he has done.
Yes.
An autobiography.
He's actually done 2 books, I think.
Okay, yeah,
I
right.
found 2, but I couldn't find any info on the second one.
Good luck reading them.
Yeah.
To all of our very fluent Japanese readers, if you could just do a translation.
If you want to do a translation and come on the show for us,
awesome.
that'd be amazing.
Yep.
Or just come talk to us. I'm down for it. So it said here he refined his skills as a runner, aka street racer, as he looked up to what's his name? Kunimitsu Takahashi when he was younger. That's also who he ended up racing for and with as a team in his it was 394 in the All Japan GT Championship.
And that was who his idol was, and that was the whole reason why he bought the 2000 GT originally as well, was because
his idol had it. Yeah, that's what motivated him to race and get better as a person and as a driver. And he ended up meeting him. Yeah. And that's what sold him on it. So
and then that just became his life dream,
goal, because we have it later on down here, but his original goal in life was to become a musician. Yep. He didn't want to actually do racing cars. He did a complete backflip.
Yep. Probably why he does a radio show.
Yeah, actually, probably.
It all makes sense now. Yeah, probably. Who knows? Maybe he does a podcast like us.
Wait, that'd be cool. Too bad we can't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kunimitsu Takahashi was one of the top drivers in his youth, and I think he also used to ride motorbikes as well.
Right.
But yeah, yet again, translation's pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Yes, and he had his first racing debut in 1977 at the...
77?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
considering that he didn't get featured on a video game until 94, that's a long time,
Yeah, but, you look at the video games that were coming out at that time to what they were...
about 40 by the time he got featured in a video game.
Yeah. But you think about it, the video games that came out before 94 were pretty basic.
That's true.
It was around the early 90s that video games really, really picked up.
Yeah.
To something where you could easily portray somebody.
I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right about that. So anyway.
So that was also an interesting year. During that year, he got his racing license suspended because he got caught doing street racing.
The illegals.
The illegals.
The secret ingredient.
But yes, it was actually for a video called Show to Kohosku Trial. However you want to pronounce that.
Shuto Kosuku Trial.
Yeah, so it was a movie series. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's in black and white, and it is really hard to watch because it's all just 140p on YouTube.
I wonder if that's actually similar to the Shutoko.
I'd say, yeah, it was based around highway racing.
Yeah, which is probably what that translates to, because it somehow translated to like Tokyo Metropolitan Highway Battle was Shutoko.
Yeah, it's basically battle. Like the C1 highway and everything like that.
Yeah.
What was it? So yeah, he had to do a speech on advising people not to do illegal street racing and stop filming immediately if he wanted his license back, was basically the consensus of that, which was pretty funny.
But it was a drift video? Drift plus B video.
Yes, I don't know where that came from. Yet again.
Yeah, bad translation. That may not be a part of it. But yeah, so essentially you would have got fired unless you came out and said that doing illegals was bad.
Yeah, you can't do that. Don't do street racing. It's a bad time.
This is all the way back in 1977. So like this is probably height Bozuzoku and everything as well. Like
going absolutely
peak
off tap.
Yeah.
Also in the Fuji Freshman's race when he first piloted the AE86, a R30 Skyline, which was run by the Nismo team, lost to him, and they basically put in a big formal complaint, and the racing series went and took his car and pulled the motor apart because they thought he had overbuilt the motor or did something illegal. So they pulled the motor and the gearbox apart and they found absolutely nothing, and then he had to put his car back together.
So they were trying to say he was a cheater.
Yeah, they were basically implying that he was cheating because an R30 Skyline lost to an AE86, and yeah.
Oh, to the AE86.
Yeah, the R30 lost, and they put a big.
I didn't realize he was racing an AE86 then.
Yeah, no, this is moving forward.
Yeah, this is have to be like 1985 or so.
in the touring championship.
Okay.
Yeah, he beat an R30 Skyline, and they put in a big complaint. So.
Oh, it was the Advan A86.
Yes.
So there you go. So, he was advised by Haru Tsuchiya, who was the director at the time. Received his drift prohibition response. So, despite the fact that he participated in Group A by driving an A86 on Advan Works A86, without even listening to his teammate Keiichi Suzuki, he left from Advan Works for only 1 year. So, basically, he probably was essentially fired, realistically.
Yeah, basically, probably just told, hey, if you don't stop it, you can leave. And he probably just went, I'm going to leave anyway.
Yeah, and probably just search for other contracts or something like that at the time.
No, I mean, if he was winning that much and he was creating that much of a stir, I think there would be plenty of teams that would have taken him on at the time. And it was around the same time that he started the Drift Ikaten series as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I was about to say,
much info on
this would be around the time that D1 would have started too, from when we were talking about that.
Option, was it... Can't remember. It would have been Option and Daijiro Inada were all working together towards running D1.
And then it probably caused quite a bit of press at the time, considering that this big high-level driver was essentially fired for drifting. And then that's probably when drifting kind of became more mainstream in Japan, that then led to all the video games later on. So it would have been an interesting time to be in and around that group around that time.
Definitely,
yeah.
You know, you're definitely someone doing something so outrageous because, they're considering going sideways is so slow, and yet he was doing it and being faster than other people. So,
yeah,
pretty hectic times.
So we'll skip forward a bit. 1989 to 1992, he participated in All Japan Formula 3 Championship. So, not Formula 1, but still quite fast. However, the car does not take advantage of the load movement of the car And even in the case of a Formula car outside the drift, there was a difference in the driving style. So essentially wasn't able to get it to oversteer. So
it didn't his style of driving.
It didn't suit his style of driving. So
as like we said, and as you see in the Drift Bible, his big things are weight shift and, like
it probably just didn't click with him enough from what he was coming from. But it clicked with him enough for him to come second at Scuba in 1991.
In the wet.
In the wet, there you go.
So probably because he was oversteering everywhere. He'd be like, hey, this is sweet.
Yeah. And leaving that high from getting on the podium, he transferred to from the Ford Sierra to the Nissan Skyline GTR in 1991. So the R32 GTR. This would have been a big deal.
There was a series on that, and there's a bit of info. He does do an interview about the time that he drove for which brand company was it? Advan, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
he went back to the GTR. I'm pretty sure it was the Advan GTR. So he talks a bit about the time of him racing for them and the GTR, and he said like it was too easy.
Really?
Yeah, he said like it was easy. It's like
there you go.
He jumped out and he was 4 or 5 positions back, and then just blasted to the front.
So when he jumped back to the GTR and back to Japanese cars, that opened
he did
up...
also drive the Ford Sierra there.
Well, that's what I was saying. He jumped from the Ford Sierra to the GTR. So once he jumped back to the GTR, essentially all the stars aligned for him, and he became the regular host on Video Option, hot version.
Basically from 1991, he's constantly been on there.
To now. Yes.
Still. Even though they only stream on Amazon Prime.
Really? I've got Amazon Prime.
I hate you. Yes, so there's a photo of Tsuchiya with a sad face holding a Video Option DVD.
Right.
I got the translation to that photo and the thing. It's basically the last ever DVD of hot version. The rest will now only ever be streamed online.
Right.
So it's moving permanently over to Amazon Prime. So if there's a photo of Tsuchiya crying holding hot version and it looked really weird to you because it looked really weird to me, that's why. It's the last ever hard copy.
Huh. There you go.
So if you have hard copies, they're about to go through the roof.
Because, for instance, Japanese people still buy CDs.
Yes.
So moving away from hard copies, that's a big deal.
Step.
Okay, put it this way. In Japan, they still use fax machines. So hard copies are a big deal. I'm not even joking. So he was hosting
He's hosting multiple segments. It wasn't just one thing.
Yeah.
So he did the
and he did the first drift contest in 1989 called Ikaten Drift.
Yeah, so 89 was when it came through. Yeah.
Yeah. So
which
a lot of things really aligned for him at this time.
Planning to get that. But
Yep. Then in 1994, he participated in the All Japan Touring Car Championship with a Honda Civic and debuted in round 3 and won 4th place in round 4. So straight into winning.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much straight into winning. He participated in the All Japan GT Championship with a Porsche Turbo and won the 4th round at Mibu.
He also competed in Le Mans in the
NSX? In a Honda NSX. He finished 18th in the first challenge. But, I mean, a Le Mans 24 hour.
First time doing a Le Mans 24 hour and placing in top 20?
Yep.
So, not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
Good size. 1995, he also did the Le Mans 24 hour again in the GT2 class in the Honda NSX. With another Japanese driver, Takachi, was the overall winner. He did the Suzuka 1000 kilometer and the Suzuka GT. He participated again in the All Japan GT Championship in the Porsche, and he finished 3rd in round 2 at Fuji. So, then he participated again in the All Japan Touring Car Championship in the Honda Civic.
Yeah, nice.
And
so, here's the fun part. Around the late 90s, I have been looking everywhere for this. I can't tell you when he started, but it was around the late 90s he started K-Office, and they did...
It was late 90s. Was it Pro Office or K Office?
The literal translation was Pro Office, but K-Office as everyone else knows it.
And DG5. I never realised that was him.
Yeah, he started the company DG5 as a sub thing to K-Office, which he sold, but they have kept up with, excellent quality coilovers.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of videos on, but yeah. He had his own line of wheels.
Yep.
Which obviously they showcased in, was it the Drift Bible when he had the S14? Yes.
Yes, I think so.
There was, in the S14, the white wheels look similar to AVS.
Yep.
Yeah, so he did that, and he kept that going all the way up through to about 2005. Keep in mind, they were doing also suspension fit-outs and alignments and tuning your car to be, what he recommended for people to be racing. And then he sold the business on in 2005, and it continued for a little while after that, but then I think it sort of... people realized that he wasn't in charge of it anymore.
Yeah.
And sort of just went...
Brand recognition's a big deal.
Yeah, it sat there for a long time. I found a couple of blog posts from Japan, I can't remember, Minkara and stuff like that, of photos. It was in 2013. There was still a car in the showroom, but it was all locked up, and no one had been there for years. But they were still locked up in the showroom, shelves full of wheels and a tire on display and everything still. So
there you go.
Yeah, and DG5 is literally across the road. If you ever want to go and check it out, so go find the DG5 factory, and then you'll see the old K Office garage. I don't know if they've demolished it, but it was there.
Yeah, nice. So then in 1999 he entered the Le Mans 24 Hours, and he won second place overall. So
man, you got to be I mean, I've said this before, and I said to people, but he's never been a proper drifter, but man, the dude can race.
Oh yeah. This is the reason why he gets invited to World Time Attack Challenge, not World Drift Challenge.
Exactly, he's...
Yeah.
The dude's proper quick, eh?
Yeah, and then he won third place in the All Japan GT Championship, and then second in the Super Taikyu Series as well, and then he went in my dang NASCAR.
Oh, NASCAR?
But NASCAR Japan. So, there's a NASCAR Japan, or at least was.
There was. I don't know how long it lasted for. But Arito went to America to drive in American NASCAR. And he was that's, I think, the whole thing behind the American cowboy hat, because he loved Texas so much.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. Skid races.
Well, he got fourth in NASCAR. So.
He did alright. Not bad for an oval racer.
Yeah. And that was to let the world know the name of Dorikin. So that's where he became a bit more famous in the international scene, was getting into my NASCAR.
Yeah, and actually promoting his nickname of Dorikin.
Yeah. So yeah. So also in 1999, I just lost where I was at.
Yep.
Yep, here we go.
There we go.
Daijiro Inada, founder of the Option Magazine and Tokyo Auto Salon. I didn't know it was the same guy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Here's the guy, the dude that went to the Salt Flats with that 350Z, the really highly tuned one. It was top secret, and a few other people helped build it. Right. And then he bins it on the way there, the tire blows up and it rolls over.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the guy. They still have that car.
Really?
They basically just cut the slab out that it was on and put it on a truck, and then put it up there and displayed it at Tokyo Auto Salon for years. It's a crashed 350. It's the orange one. Everybody knows it. Everyone's seen it. But yeah, fucked up there. All binned exactly how they left it.
Right. So him and Tsuchiya hosted a professional level drifting contest in 1999 and 2000 to feed on the ever-increasing skills of drifting drivers who were dominating drifting contests in various parts of Japan.
And this is where Ikaten series sort of moved on to D1. And
in October 2000, they reformed the contest as a 5-round series. So, in the following year, for the following round, the introduction of the 2-car Suiyu battle. So, tandem battle, that would be. Suiyu.
Probably
running a
another bad
single
translation.
elimination tournament format, a common tradition for toge races, which became popular with car enthusiasts. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So in 2003, he defeated the racing driver.
This is again
a really hard
off
translation.
a Japanese website, and the translation didn't work very well. I still stuck it in there to see if we could decipher it, but
So yeah, I'm not too sure what that one is, but something happened in 2003. Something along that he didn't win at Suzuka or something like that. That's when he retired from professional racing. So he lost in 2003, and that's where he... Now, you don't have written down here about his eyesight.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I forgot to put that in. So, I can't remember how old he was. He was very young, and he had a bad accident. And
something like got in his eyes.
Yet again, translation was totally bad. They said he was blind, but basically he was required to wear glasses at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sort of didn't like racing with his glasses, so he came to the thing of driving by feel, which is a very Japanese thing to say.
Yeah. Very initial D thing to say.
Yeah, very initial D. Basically, he was like, I'll drive the course by feel and like memory. So
basically everything was a blur, and he just freaking worked it out.
Sent it like a boss. But yes, that was something I never knew, that he has actually terrible eyesight and it was required to... He still does.
No, because he had laser eye surgery and that fixed it. Yeah. So what happened was just before... so when he was in the stint back in like 95... between basically 1995 and 1999, why there wasn't much in between there was because he was losing a lot. And just in like 1998, 1999, he got the laser eye surgery. All of a sudden, he was winning.
Back to being good again.
Yeah. But something happened in 2003. Not sure.
2003 is when he retired.
Yeah, no, 2003, 2004, it looks like when he was retiring.
Yeah,
so,
I had it written somewhere.
Yeah. But anyway. So he was evaluated for the race spirit, the director of both the GT500 and the GT300. So I'm assuming he kind of like essentially just managed a team.
Yes.
For that time.
He managed a team for a little while and then...
Yeah, essentially retired. Now, he kind of just went off the radar, essentially.
Well, basically, he only did D1 and, he did his usual, like, video option segments and stuff like that, which, are extremely popular over there. He was also on the radio station, as you said, doing a radio show.
Yeah.
So he was still getting around.
Driving.
He didn't really do much driving in that time, unless, like, he may have came to Australia for Time Attack or something like that, but he wasn't actively competing anymore.
Yeah. But then in 2011 he launched Drift Muscle with Daijiro Inada,
which is coming back to what we were saying about him having different views to what D1 and obviously Formula Drift had become to what he wanted. So like going back to more of the Ikaten style, you got to go like stupidly quick and you're disqualified if you're 2 kilometers slow.
So and then from 2013, the drifting became an official competition according to the Japanese Automobile Federation, or JAF. So you'll see people with the blue JAF badge that goes on the front of their car. That's the Japanese Automobile Federation. So they officially recognize that you could essentially think of them as, in Australia, like CAMS or what's the international one? The FIA.
FIA, yeah.
So they're essentially like, kind of like that. And they worked with Drift Muscle as their lead competition, which is interesting, I guess, over D1.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's actually gotten as much traction as it did, because D1 is so well established, but then I guess
people didn't like D1 though because of the drift box sensors. So a lot of people moved away when Tsuchiya left D1. A lot of people initially moved to Drift Muscle.
Yeah,
but then I'm not sure what happened, but a lot of people ended up going back essentially to D1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not sure. That's a bit of an odd.
Of his quotes.
Yeah, okay, so these are just quotes and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit hard.
It's too hard to read.
Yeah, the translations don't really work that well. So, his book was called Pride. I don't know if that's a tie-in with Bride, because he really does work a lot with Bride seats for a lot of crossovers. So, yeah, there's a lot of quotes here, but they're really quite hard to really translate. They just don't make sense enough. But we can just have a bit more of a general chat about stuff that we know about him. Again, like we said, at the moment he's still currently doing World Time Attack Challenge, where he's coming over here. He's still running Drift Kingdom, which is the new name for Drift Muscle. And he has a very active Twitter account.
Yes, as we found out.
Yeah.
So if you're on Twitter and want to see heaps of interesting random things that Mr. Tsuchiya gets up to...
Yep, it was at K1 Tsuchiya.
At K1 Tsuchiya, yeah. That's
it. So...
And the other fascinating thing is he also has his own website.
Yeah, which was K1 something.
Is it K1 Tuning?
I seem to think it was K1 Tuning. I can bring it up.
Oh.
So on his website, K1 Planning
.shop.pro-pro.jp.
Yeah. So, but if you type K1 Channing Keiichi Tsuchiya, that will come up, and that has his own shop. You can buy his helmet, or one at least,
identical helmet to him
for about $2,500.
Yeah, I was about to say,
but it's a real helmet. So
be prepared to fork out, but
yeah.
You can also buy all his limited edition Bride seats, so you know, the Strata and the Geos 3 and stuff like that. Yeah,
and his A86 exhaust and a couple of other A86 related parts. His driving gloves, you can buy them from there. All of them are available on the website.
And if you have a medium-sized dog, he also does a T-shirt for your pup.
So he could do one for my Shiba Inu. Because my Shiba Inu is a medium-sized Japanese dog.
We should dress him up.
Actually, I think they call them large over there. But
they're a medium Australian dog.
Make it fit.
Squeeze him into it.
Yeah. He won't be happy about it, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can dress your dog up like Keiichi Tsuchiya. You can buy a Keiichi Tsuchiya towel. It says it's an oversized one too, so it might actually fit Western bodies. Sure.
Yeah, man. K1 Planning.
Yeah, K1 Planning. Yeah, if you just type K1 Planning and Keiichi Tsuchiya, I'm sure it will come up. So,
well, I mean, we found it.
Yeah, we found it. But I mean, hey, we can't even set up a podcast, and we found it. So, but yeah, there's some interesting facts.
Just
about
stuff
Tsuchiya.
That wasn't, I didn't know videos. We had to actually go and look at it, because it wasn't just stuff in your typical he did this. He's the Drift King.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get his gloves, everything, man.
Yeah. Yep. So absolutely everything.
Even his dash.
Yeah. I'm sure if you paid enough money, you could just buy Keiichi Tsuchiya.
Any millionaires out there want to try it?
I mean, World Time Attack practically bought him. So, they rented him at least.
Well, you rented him. Yeah. A bit different to
buying. But yeah, so...
No, definitely. Just, hearing a bit more of the facts about when... he was racing, getting a drift prohibition order and...
Yeah. Crashing his Hakusuka.
Yeah, he just said in an interview, I crashed at street drifting or street racing at the time. What a G. As well as, he was so good in that Advan 8.6 that they literally thought he was cheating.
Yeah.
So they pulled apart the motor.
Somehow they made an A86 with Tsuchiya driving and beat a DR30 with... That would have had the turbo RB20 DT with red top cam covers. So,
yeah,
dude can drive.
Dude can steer an 8.6, eh?
Dude came fourth in NASCAR.
And that's the thing is these are he stepped into a series straight up.
Yeah.
And what did he place? 18th in Le Mans straight up.
But then he won it.
And then came second.
Second, yeah.
The next time.
And then he's competed in Formula 3 and came third or fourth. he's raced across a lot of disciplines and done well. Not just like got in, but actually done well against other drivers.
Yeah, and that's
like,
it, like,
internationally.
Man, it is like super hard to get like in the first season. You get in a car and then you go and like to be competitive, but like the dude's crazy.
I almost, in my opinion, I really think that even just calling him Drift King is an understatement.
Yeah,
the dude is just like a driving in general king. Seriously,
driving god, basically.
yeah.
Like the things I'd do to be able to like grip race like he does.
And I mean the fact that I guess even more so back then that with Japanese culture in the way that you focus on something like your life goal like that, where he had a life goal to meet and, you know, be like that guy who ended up training him and then literally ended up being
joining
trained.
the team with him,
like,
you know, and I think pretty sure they raced side by side at one point. So like before the well, I can't remember, it was Kunimatsu, wasn't it? Yeah, before he retired anyway.
Yeah, so
he managed the team and Tsuchiya raced for it, so
I mean, I guess that's a bit of a life lesson to people that if you want something bad enough and you're willing to put the effort in to get
if you're willing to crash your Hakusuka.
If you're willing to crash your Hakusuka.
Like, if you're willing to bin it to win it.
That's it.
Do it.
That's it. So, you know, get on it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it is like...
Yeah. You know, there's
starting
life
from,
proof, you know?
Like, the absolute bottom and then working your way up. It's...
Yeah. Yeah. All the way through, you know?
And that's another thing is... there was a series on Video Option where they took a bunch of GT racers, or just racing people in general, and tried to make them drift. And they couldn't.
Was he one of those stunt drivers for Tokyo Fast and the Furious? I don't know about that.
No, I did hear this. He did actually do some driving for them.
Did he?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty sure was it the mountain scene that he did? I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, really? Interesting. Because I'm pretty sure it was the New Zealand driver. It might have even been Mad Mike who did No, it was a New Zealand stunt driver who did the one up the
Reese Millen did the driving, and I can't remember the other dude. There's another dude that drives in Formula Drift. But Tsuchiya was there. He was also featured in the docks when they're doing the drifts around the thing. He also did driving for them as well. But yeah, like he was overseeing the drifting stunts. For the most part, you'll see in the behind the scenes, he's sitting on a really tall chair and he's like yelling at people with a big megaphone and basically just what he does in Video Option, just all the time.
Yeah, you know, like I think if you were in Japan and you were into cars, practically at any point since the late 80s, you would know who he is.
Yeah. I mean,
whether you're into drifting or not, because you're going to be watching Video Option and stuff like that.
Yeah, Video Option. I mean, and look, he was placing well throughout the 90s. And like, look, when the R32 came out, I mean, he even drifted the R32.
Yeah.
Like, that's just mental. The thing's got wacky four-wheel steering and like, man, the dude's a nutcase.
Are you knocking high cars?
Yes. I am knocking high cars. Like, he even took one of his fans' R32s, or it was built by a shop, but it was a customer's car, and he took it out to Ebisu, and they were doing like a circuit race on it, and then he's like, oh, okay, now we're going to do the drift segment, and he's drifting this like almost rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive 32, which is like a Tesla system, and the rear wheels are like, give me a break, and he's drifting it perfectly.
Yeah, nice. I mean, he could even drift the MR2 and stuff in the... And I mean, that's the other thing, you know, if people hadn't watched our last one, is he did the Drift Bible on originally teaching people how to drift, you know?
Yeah, and which, like, even though some of the stuff is a bit dated, it is still rather relevant.
Yeah, we did modern how to drift videos as well as that, and I would say that was at least more relevant than over 50% of the other videos that we reviewed.
Yeah, I would say the only people that really did it better was Chelsea.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he also released a MR2 drift video, so go check his channel out.
Did he?
Yes, AW11 drifting. It's got a black top in it, and I was like, ooh.
Nice.
That'd be a cool daily.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, bar a few little things and like, you know, his focus on, you know, like the high speed and then braking entries. Like a lot of it is super relevant today, and
high speed still is relevant.
Just the technique,
just the pedanticness, I think, on his competitions was what it.
Well, yeah, I mean, even the techniques to initiate at high speed have changed a little bit. You know, like you can glide in on the handbrake, or you can do a feint entry. There's a lot different, and the style of entry has changed a lot, but that is saying something, because how old was that video? Was like 90...
The original Drift Rival?
It's like 98 to 2000, something like that.
Yeah.
Very early. Like,
pre-widescreen.
Correct. But yeah, no, it's...
Pretty sure it came out on VHS.
Ooh, I don't know. I think it did come out on DVD.
I don't know, man.
I think it was on DVD.
Considering that the PlayStation 2 came out in 2001, which was the mainstream DVD player, I would say that it came out on VHS originally. And it was also released on DVD.
Maybe it did come out in the 2000s then. I'd say it was released on both, actually.
Yeah.
Man, like, everything from the beginning of, like, DVD was released on both.
Yeah.
Because only the rich kids had their DVD players.
What are you saying?
Well, I'm saying I never had a DVD player until I came up to Queensland, so... Love my
I didn't have one until last year.
Man, I loved it. I was like... Had a little box TV on my Nintendo 64. I used to play like old racing games. It was sick.
Man, I used to bring my PlayStation 2 and play Gran Turismo 4 in my car, like on long trips when we would like drive from place to place on this little portable black and white TV that I rigged up.
I had one of those.
Yeah, yes. And I plugged it into the cigarette lighter, and I bought an inverter for my PlayStation 2 and ran my PlayStation 2 off an inverter. Off a disc, like in a car, bouncing over potholes and everything, and I'm using a freaking disc drive PlayStation 2, playing games on my way up to the Gold Coast.
Yep. Now I know why you became an autoallergic.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But anyway, moving on. So...
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a inside look into, And
I'm sure we've missed so much.
Oh, I mean, this is a rundown of just stuff that...
we're able to translate.
There's paragraphs on these other websites, man. It's just, you try to translate it and it doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
But it's because it's like not just the results, it's literally running through what happened and... Yeah, like, look, let's just be honest, Google Translate doesn't do that very well.
Yeah.
You can get the gist. But...
You can get a general gist, but when they're trying to do complex explanations or quotes and stuff like that, it can really be swapped around a lot in the way that it's worded. So, sorry if in this podcast that we seemed a little bit slow with how we were explaining things as we were trying to read it there.
Yeah.
But it's because we're literally trying to, like, live translate it into something that's going to make sense in our heads as well. So
it's like, a lot of it was, old, Min Cara posts and stuff like that. Like, that took me ages to figure out and find out what happened to K-Office and all of that. Yeah. I just happened to have a good friend that, had actually been there and knows a little bit about K-Office, and he told me about how they closed down and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, super hard to find stuff that will translate properly.
Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed it otherwise, and we will be back.
Hopefully it's been a good test to show that our audio works.
Yeah. Tell us what you think. I'm hoping that the audio and the video is a bit better quality. Also, our voices should be perfectly in line with what's on screen should be aligned with the audio, and hopefully that will be completely sorted as well for when we're doing a Skype call in the future. We've got a couple of big episodes planned coming up, so look forward to that.
And Matsuri is only
30 days
weeks away.
Yes.
So if you're at Matsuri, come and have a look for us. I'm going to be out there with my good friend Brendan and Ben Lacey.
Yep. So it'll be an R33, an IS200,
and an R34.
And an R34. Nice.
So it should be good. So yeah, come say hi. I'm pretty sure they allow tandems with passengers now. So if you have a tandem band, come passo with us.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brendan will be keen to go with like 4 people again. So
does QR allow 4 deep?
They're gonna do it now. Hey, they said tandems with passengers. They didn't state how many. He's got blackout tint. We'll just put him in the back. It'll be fine.
Just put him in the boot.
No, he's got a sub in the boot.
And?
There's no room. We literally can't put tyres in the back of it.
How big's the sub?
It's huge. It makes an awesome Russian doofs, man. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure I posted it on the Drift podcast. There's a video of Brendan chasing me, and at the start of the clip, all you can hear is Russian hard bass.
Nice.
Dude, it's so good.
Nice.
Like, so good.
Yeah. So if you get clips of these guys, make sure you tag us and at Matsuri. And
yeah, come say hi. We're working on trying to get some more stickers to give out and everything. So
yeah, we mentioned Abo Moon coming in there, so that'll be cool. So yeah,
that'd be super cool. Might let him drive my car. Hopefully, he doesn't break it.
Yeah.
Be sick.
No guarantees.
Time to take out that insurance policy. Made happen on the way home.
And if you guys do want to watch a video about the Abo Moon drivers and what they're kind of about, then Noriaro did a video probably about 3 or 4 months ago that we went to a track where they were driving for the R32 day or something like that. If you look up the R32 day video, then you will see lots of info about them and you'll get an idea for what they're all about.
Yep, so, and if you search them as well, under the Noriaro video, there is another one which was done by SC Films, which has changed now to something else.
Okay.
But he's the dude that did a bunch of the Nakamura videos in America, and check him out. He has a heap of like awesome clips up there. So
yeah. No. And cheers for the comments, guys.
Yeah,
I'm glad that the audio's all lining
working
up
now as well.
Yeah. We've if you guys notice and are watching, we're getting comments through for Facebook and YouTube. And if people do end up commenting on the Twitch and the Mixer channels as well, they will also come through all in the one section, so we can read all of your comments, hopefully. So fingers crossed.
Hopefully our 2-week break has actually been worth it. So we worked hard.
Yeah, we did. And we spent money that we will never get back.
Yes.
So enjoy, and we will be seeing you guys very soon again.
And at Matsuri. So get keen.
So get keen, and we will see you there.
Yep. Peace out, guys. Thank you.
Catch up.